Hey y'all, and welcome to today's video. I have the newest palette from Glaminatrix Cosmetics, the Sugar and Spice palette. We have mattes, multi-chromes, sparkle. We have it all in this palette. So we're gonna swatch it all. We're gonna play with it. We're gonna create a look. We're gonna have a good time with makeup. I'm excited. Let's jump into it. Y'all, this is the newest palette from Glaminatrix. It is launching on August 5th at 6 p.m. EST. I will put that information down in the description box so that you can check it out. Don't misspeak, all of that. I'll put a link to the Glaminatrix site. Glaminatrix did send me this palette. I'm excited. I really love this Australian indie brand. So we are going to just have a good time. I want to play with it. Look, you can see the shifts in the mirror. I do have an affiliate code with Glaminatrix. It is Heather. If you're ever shopping the site and you want to get a discount, you can use my affiliated code. I will also put that in the description box. But let's talk about this palette. First of all, I really like this like vegan leather packaging with Glaminatrix Cosmetics, Sugar and Spice like stamped into it. I think it feels very luxe, very pretty, minimalistic. I'm here for this packaging. I did have one shade arrive to me, just a little broken, no big deal. I just took my finger, kind of pressed it back into the pan, and you can see it's doing well. So let me show you up close of this palette and swatches. This palette does have 8 mattes, 3 multi-chromes, 3 duochromes, and 1 sparkly shimmers with different textures and finishes in this palette. These pans are magnetic and the name of the shade is printed on the back, a detail that I really love, because if you want to customize this palette, move it around, put it in an empty magnetic palette, you can do that very easily. I just think that is such a nice touch that we're seeing from Glaminatrix. So this is very unexpected. Like when I opened this palette, I did not expect to see this color story. We have neutral mattes, we have a few pastel mattes, we have some neutral sparkly shades, and then we have some pops of color as well. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to use this from them to create a look. I think we're gonna have a good time with it. So I'm gonna put down an eyeshadow primer. I'm gonna zoom y'all in nice and close, and we are going to create. Okay, I put down my Sigma eyeshadow primer in the shade Ignite, a holy grail for me. I'm gonna grab my palette and I have options. I think what I want to start with is this deep dark brown right here. This is called Brownie. I know you already saw the swatches, but I have not swatched this palette. I wanted to use it first. So I'm gonna make sure I don't have any creases in my eye primer. And I picked up that shade on one of my green brushes from Unearthly, this like black and green brush, and I'm going to put this deep dark brown all right in my socket like this. That is a very dark, kind of cool toned brown, neutral cool tone leaning. I'm going to just like kind of press this on and then lightly blend, and it's really just going all in the socket like this. Okay, I'm gonna grab my Singe Beauty brush, and I wanna dip into this like cream vanilla type shade right here. I'm gonna use this, I'm just gonna kind of buff along that brown. So the first shade we used is called Brownie, and this shade is called Brulee. So I'm just tapping off any excess shadow on this big fluffy brush, and I'm going to do like this and just buff this shade right along where we stopped with that deep dark brown. Just going to blend, give us a nice kind of fade right out here. Just gonna take my time going back and forth like this. It looks like it's blending really nicely. with this, like from the dark brown to this kind of vanilla shade. I'm not having any trouble getting a blend, which makes me so happy. Okay, I want to pull in the black. I love a good black shadow. So we have a matte black right here called Licorice. So I'm going to dip into this shade. We do have a nice mirror in this palette too, but I'm gonna dip into the shade with one of my Singe brushes. I'm gonna press it right there on the lid, kind of keeping this outer corner dark. I love doing a dark outer corner. I love it. It's a favorite for me. So I'm going to press it on like that. I'm going to blend a bit and then just lightly drag it to the outer portion of my lower lash line like this, and then just slowly kind of blend. But you see that really went on easily. Okay, I'm gonna go in with one of these beautiful shades on the lid. I'm kind of feeling this shade right here. So I'm gonna pick that up on a green Unearthly brush. I'm gonna really get that shadow on my brush. I'm gonna spray my brush with a little bit of setting spray, makeup mist. I am going to then kind of pat it on and then blend once I have most of the shadow off my brush. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking down. That's really pretty, like green gold. Okay, now that I have it on, it definitely is more of a green gold than I thought it was gonna be. All right, that is pretty, very shiny. I'm just putting this on the lid, kind of all over the lid. I'm gonna bring it up really high, like almost to my socket, and blend it out like this. I did not want to cover up the dark matte outer corner. I like to keep that dark and matte out there. So I'm just going to press the shadow on, and then once I have it all pressed on, I'll slowly kind of start to blend a bit. Okay, this shade is very beautiful. Like, it's very intense. You can definitely see that sparkle. It has a lot of shine to it. And I think it looks really pretty next to our cool tone brown. Like, that shade Brownie is quite cool in tone. And I think this green shade really pops against it, which is interesting because normally, like, if I had a green shade like this, I would go for like green mattes probably. And if I was going for neutrals, I would probably choose more like warm tones. So I like seeing it next to this really cool toned brown shade. I'm just kind of like redefining that shade Brownie, making sure like that I don't lose it. Okay, I want to go in with one of the multi-chromes on my lower lash line. I want to use this shade right here, Star Anise. I don't know, but it's one of those multi-chromes that shifts from like red, orange, burgundy, green. So I'm gonna pick this up on an Unearthly brush. I'm gonna spray my brush, and we're gonna drag this all over the lower lash line right here. Okay, so I'm grabbing my brush, and I'm just going to sweep this right here under the lower lash line. I'm gonna bring it up to meet where I put that matte black shade. And I'm just kind of pressing the shadow off my brush at first. And then I will kind of blend back and forth to kind of fade that shade out as it comes low. But yeah, we have a little contrast with that shade for sure. Okay, to highlight our inner corner, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here called Vanilla. It looks very sparkly, and I'm interested to see it on right there. Okay, it's looking way more yellow than it was in the pan. Way different than I thought, but it looks good between what we have going on the lid, what we have going on the lower lash line. So I'm just going to press it on like so. Blend a little bit. This is another one of my Singe brushes. And then I'm going to do liner and a lash. I am really, really liking how shiny our lid shade is. Very much liking how shiny our lid shade is and how dramatic this look is. I really didn't expect this color story. When I saw the outer packaging on Instagram, I don't know what I was envisioning, but definitely not this. So it's kind of pushed me, this palette, to play with these kind of cool tone mattes. So I'm pleased with how dramatic it is looking, how sparkly we are. I'm gonna throw on my liner, my lash, and I will be right back. All right, y'all, here is the finished eye look. I will link the lash, the eyeliner, the lip, the blush, the highlight that I'm wearing. All of that I will link in the description box. But here is our finished look. I have to say, these shimmers, multi-chromes, duochromes, sparkly shades are the star. Like, this look I'm into, and I had an easy time with the mattes as well. So let's talk about this palette. I can definitely create another look for y'all if you would like. Just let me know down in the comments. I just wanted to test this palette out, try it, create a look, do some swatches, play with it today. All these neutral shades, we do have a couple of pops of color, but it's mostly mattes, and we have some really pretty sparkle shades in here as well. But I do think between these shades right here, I personally would have liked to seen something different, because I feel like these are not the same, but maybe just a little too similar. I do think you're going to be able to create some pretty pastel looks, especially with this bottom row. You could definitely create a cool toned all matte eye look if you want to. And the sparkles in here, really pretty. This shade right here, so beautiful. The way it shifts from like green to silvery gold, I'm into. I think it's super duper impactful on the lid, and I'm looking forward to playing with these more. I'm definitely going to be dipping my brushes in, trying this more, using it more, but I just wanted to create a look today with y'all. I wanted to test it out, try it, give you my first impression. I'm really looking forward to putting more sparkle on my lid. Definitely so. I do have a full Glaminatrix playlist if you would like to check it out. I'm so feeling my look, which is perfect because I'm actually on my way out the door. I hope whatever you are doing, you're having an amazing day. Please like this video if you liked it. Again, let me know if you want me to do another look on camera with y'all, film it for y'all, because I'm going to be playing with this more either way so I can test it and try it and use it more. But yeah, that is all I have for you today. I hope you're having a good one, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye!